Somebody, I kind of remembered somebody asked for sharing the sessions. Yeah, let me upload into one of the cloud services so that you can download and access them, because uh, currently, like, they are in my local system, so I need to upload them. They are kind of good size, each one is like 100 and 120 MB kind of thing. So let me upload today, and then I'll share the link to you guys. So so yesterday we discussed about arrays. So if you look at, right, array is one kind of built-in functionality that we got from Java, right? Because holding one value at a time in each individual variable, rather than holding one value at a time in an individual variable, we can keep them together into an array. So array can hold primitive data types as well as objects as well. Array can hold primitive data, where primitive data types are, as well as what you call objects as well. Like we tried with the movies class, we try to keep each and every movie into Netflix array, or else we try to keep each and every integer variable that user enters into um, an array of integer type, right? So we kind of see how ways of initializing arrays, and two primary things in array is, whenever you declare an array, you must initialize the size of an array, and you cannot extend the array, right? You cannot insert an element beyond the size of an array. If you try to insert any element beyond the size of an array, you will get array index out of bound exception. Some error you will get. Let's understand to some extent, because we haven't talked about exceptions. So next thing is strings. So strings topic, right? Let me try to write one more class package. Before going into strings, let's discuss about a little bit about memory, basic memory concept. Okay. What exactly happens when we write a program, and what exactly happens when we write a when we execute a program. So simple program, I'll just try to run. I'll just keep small, and for the sake of roll number is RN. Int course C. Course is string course. So for now, let's understand. See, whenever you write something, right, with a capital letter, it's mostly a class. Okay, mostly a class. We haven't discussed about this. Just now we discussed about array concept, right? Array concept is what? It's a built-in functionality that we got it from Java. Java understands certain scenarios ahead of a time, and it gives you built-in functionality. Okay, it thinks, okay, these are the day-to-day when they are writing web programs, when they are writing business logics. and a day to day they may need this functionality, these kind of activities, they may do these kind of activities. So Java will come up with some built-in functionalities. One of such functionalities is array, and another such functionality is string. Those are all called as a built-in functionality that we can get from Java. Okay, so for example, now remember string is a class which can hold any number of words. You can keep as much words as you want. Okay, so another one is public. I just want to show you simple method. Okay, public void display dsp. That's it. Okay, now you run this program. Just run this program, right? What will happen? Nothing will happen, right? Because you haven't created an object. You haven't created. Now what? When you save this program, right? Where it's saved? It's saved in your hard disk, right? It's saved in your hard disk. But anything that runs will go onto the RAM, right? So when you run the program, it try to load memory demo. It loads the memory demo and it looks for the main method. And as there is nothing to execute here, it does nothing. So let's say we created called student std equal to new student. Okay, so and then std dot rn equal to, for time being, just understand. Okay, we should not access variables directly, but for the time being. Okay. You did this. So now when you run the program, what will happen? So now still when you save this program, it's still in the hard disk. What happens when you try to run the program? When you try to right click and run the program, right? Run Java application, what will happen? What will happen is, let's say we have an hard disk here. Okay, it's a hard disk. Here your program called student, program class called student class. Okay, it is stored here, right? When you run the program, give me 1 second. I'll just quickly draw the diagram by, rather than doing wrongly. Where is the memory concepts that I stored? Give me 1 second. Huh? Oh, sorry. Yeah. So this is RAM and 8 GB. And when you run the program, first what will happen? You where your program can be run? Can it run be directly on RAM? No, it will run on JVM, Java Virtual Machine. You need to have when you in order to run your program. So among 8 GB, let's say for example, 2 GB of memory. Just for the sake of space, I am using this much space for 2 GB. Okay, 2 GB of memory will be used by JVM. In this JVM, you will have two sections. There is deeper concept in what you called memory management, but I'll go through only few things. Okay, 2 GB of JVM will be loaded first. Okay, in that a lot of blocks will be there to run Java, to understand the main program and to load certain things. All the blah 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 stuff will be there, but overall the interesting part, that interesting things that we need to know is two parts will be there. One is heap memory, another one is stack memory. Okay, let's say some part has been given to heap memory, some part has been given to stack memory. Okay, like this memory will be created. Okay. So let me create another program. So you guys understand now? So when you run the program, first what will happen? JVM will be loaded and some memory, some RAM memory will be occupied, and in that certain sections will be divided already by default. And then what will happen? I'll go to the next program, next screen. I'll draw a new one. So here we have a heap memory, here we have a stack memory. Okay, stack, S-T-A-C-K. Okay, so let's say divided. Then which part will go into the heap memory, which part will go into the stack memory? Basically what happens, you created an object, right? std. Okay, this is an object. Okay, std, an object will be created. This is the reference variable, right? This is the reference variable that is holding an object. What is an object? Student, right? Student object. Let's say this is the student object. What are there inside student object? Int rn. So how much memory int will take? 8 GB, right? 8 bytes, right? So rn 8 bytes will be assigned to. Okay, string, let's say for saying 8 bytes. Okay, string, it is course, right? Course. Another variable is string course, right? Okay, so what is the default value of rn or int? 0 will be here. And what is the default value of string? For time being, remember, for default value of reference variable or default value of string is null. Okay, null will be there inside. Okay, so null is nothing but nothing is there, just a null will be nothing, pure empty kind of. Okay, it's not empty, but its null value is there. Okay, and then what else is there? There is a method called display, DSP, right? That method will go, there is a stack, this is a stack of memory, so it's a stack of memory, right? First what is that method? DSP will be here. This address will be referred from here, and this address will be referred from here, right? This address will be referred from here. So with this, what we understand, all the objects, all the class variables, right? All the objects, all the class variables will be loaded into heap memory. All the methods, local, all the methods and local variables. Let's say I wrote like something like int xyz equal to 0, something like that. This xyz will be inside stack memory. Methods and variables will be inside stack memory. What happens if I create another object? So now, so when first line executes, when you run the program and first line executes, this is what happens. And next thing is trying to initialize the value. Rn will become 100 and course become, instead of core, Java. Getting my point? And if I try to create another object, student std2 equal to new student. Now what will happen? Same structure, another std2 will be created, another object will be created, Rn with 0 and course with null, and DSP, another DSP method refers here. This will be referred here. As many objects that you create, those many objects will be stored in the heap and corresponding methods will be stacked. You getting my point? And all the variables will be assigned here. Local variables will be in the stack. This is how the memory allocation will happen. So there are few things will be there. So heap will have memory allocation for reference variables. So this part is reference variable. This is the reference variable, right? And memory for objects. Heap memory for reference variable as well as for objects. Stack memory method definitions will be stacked into stack frame. Method definitions will be stacked into stack frame. For each new method in a class, there will be one frame will be allocated in the stack. Okay, for each method in a class, there will be one frame will be allocated in the stack. So that's how the memory allocation will happen. You guys understand? Okay, let's now go back to strings concept. This is the basic memory concept that you need to understand. Okay. Because before we talking about strings, because we may use couple of memory point of view keywords, so I just want to make sure you guys understand that. So now where is the string concepts? Give me 1 second. Okay, so now let's go to a new class, string example, string scenarios we need to discuss, right? Yeah. So in strings, right? What is a string? A string is a class in Java. String is a class in Java which can hold a strings, whatever the strings that we want, right? Like if you want to write this is the Java course, so where do you want to hold it? We know primitive data types. Inside int you cannot keep it, inside int only you can keep it integers. Double you can't, float you can't, boolean it's a true false so you can't, char you can, but one word at a time, one character at a time you can keep in characters. So there is another functionality that Java comes up with, built-in functionality called strings. So strings are to hold strings are to hold any words, right? String is a class in Java. Okay, so let's say I created a string s1 equal to orange. So this way, one way of creating the string is string s1 equal to orange. So this is the way to create, just like the way we initialize any primitive data types, right? Int a equal to 10. Same way we can initialize, we can create a string objects. So as soon as string is a class, whatever you wrote is string object, right? Okay, so this is one way of writing. Okay, another way of writing is string. How do you create an object, right? String s1 s2 equal to, how do you create an object? New string. Inside the thing you can pass orange. This is another way of creating. One way of creating is string s1 equal to orange, and another way is string s2 equal to new string of orange. There are two ways you can create a string object. So what we can say, string objects are basically, you can call it a string. Whenever you create a string object, they are immutable. String objects are immutable. This is important thing, they in the interviews they will ask, like, what are immutable objects? String objects are immutable. String objects are immutable. What does it mean by, what does it mean by immutable? Immutable, we can't modify. So does it mean so if you do s1 equal to apple, you are able to modify. Then why it is saying we can't modify if strings are immutable? Because you are not modifying it. What exactly happens, I'll show you in the memory. When you try to do like this, I'll show you in memory, but let's discuss about concepts, right? So string objects are immutable, that is we can't modify the string object, first thing. But string reference variables are mutable. String objects are immutable. String reference variables are modifiable. String reference variables are mutable. S1 and S2 here are mutable. But whatever the objects that you created, right, these objects are immutable. And there is we'll discuss about a buffer, string buffer and string builder later, but for now so like I mentioned, right, string is built-in class that we got. And if it is a built-in class, what we used to do for scanner, what we did, scan equal to new scanner. What will happen when the moment you type like this, scanner, if it is a built-in class, I said like scanner also built-in class, scan equal to new scanner. Okay, so you are getting error for this scanner built-in class, you are getting a error. Then why you are not getting an error for string? Because scanner is in which package? Java.util package. So you need to explicitly explicitly import that package, so that you need to explicitly import that package so that that particular class will be loaded into your class. That particular built-in class will be loaded into your class. But why we haven't got for this string class which is built in, we haven't got because string is in a package called java.lang.string. which means like, import java.lang.string. This is the package, but even if you don't import as well, even if you don't import this java.lang.string package, you are not getting error. You are able to successfully create a string objects. Why? Because in Java, this line, whatever the highlighted line, right? Import java.lang.star. Let's say star is for all classes that has been there in the package. So let's say what are all the classes that has been there in session 10? Memory demo, string demo are the two classes, Java classes in session 10. What are all the classes that has been there in session 8? Abstract demo and remaining, right? Whatever the class demo, Honda class, Honda V6 vehicle, all these classes has been there in session 8. So just like same thing, java.lang also having bunch of classes. One of class is string. So when you say java.lang.star, all the classes inside the lang package will be imported. But by default this line will be there in each and every program that you write. Default Java will insert when you try to compile the program before running, this line will be automatically inserted. When you try to compile a program, this line will be automatically inserted in each and every Java class. That's the reason you don't need to import java.lang package. Java lang package you don't need to import. What is the default package that will be there in each and every class? Java.lang package. Where is the string class? It is in the java.lang built-in class. Java.lang package built-in class. So string objects are mutable. We can't modify, but string reference variables we can modify. Okay, you got it. So next thing is what is the default value? Let's say this point I just explained, right? So we don't need anymore. What will happen? String ABC. If I say like this, what is the default value? What is the default value this ABC will be holding? The default value is null. The default value of ABC is null. Okay. If you don't initialize string, the default value is null. Okay. So let me show you simply some diagrams quickly. I'll do it. If I write string str, if you write like this, or else string str equal to null, in both cases what will happen? Reference variable is holding null value. Okay. Another scenario, string s equal to new string. In this case what will happen? Str reference variable, it's empty string, nothing. I haven't added any value, I haven't write any. String s equal to new string, that's it. Okay, this is an object, it is an empty object, okay, it is an empty object, has been assigned to str. Yes, it has been assigned to s. Make sense? So when you write a string str equal to null, it's nothing but the string ref object will be string reference variable is holding null. But when you write string s equal to new string, a string object will be created with empty, nothing will be there. Earlier case null is there, this case empty, nothing will be there, and it will be assigned to reference variable called s. Okay. what will happen? Another scenario, string str equal to new string hello. In this case, what will happen? Str reference variable will be created. What it is going to hold? New object which will have a value called hello. Make sense? This is how string will work. This is how string will be storing the values. Okay. Same case, if you string str equal to new string, or else another way of writing what? Another way of writing string is what? String s equal to hello, right? You are writing this way also, right? So what will happen? Same way. In this case also, what will happen? S is holding the address of object called hello. Same case, same thing. Okay, these are the, so what are the two ways to create a string object? So there are two ways to create a string object. One is using the new keyword, another one is using double quotes. What is the difference between these two? From usage point of view, there is no difference between these two. Okay, but there is a difference in terms of the way it stores inside the memory. There is a difference the way it stores inside the memory. Okay, what is the difference is, let me show you. Like basically what happens in strings, there is a concept called pool of string constants. Pool of string constants. There is a concept called inside Java. When you're creating a string objects, what will happen is a pool of string constants. Okay, so what will happen? There is, each time when you run the program, right, in the memory, there is a pool will be created. Some certain section of memory will be created. Inside this box, this memory box, certain section will be created for pool of strings. This is called, let's say, pool of strings. What will happen when you write string s1 equal to hello and string s2 equal to hello, string s3 equal to hi. Okay, so s1 and s2 both are hello. What will happen, right? These two hello will be created here in the pool. When if you use double quotes, if you create a string object with double quotes, instead of new keyword, that will go inside the pool. Okay, that will go inside the pool, and then that will be referred with s1 as well as s2. Same object will be shared, same string object will be shared between s1 and s2. And for hi, this is a new object, new key, right? So it will be stored here. So basically what happened when you try to create a string s1 equal to new hello, first as you are trying to create with the double quotes, it will go into the pool of constants. And then the address will be assigned to s1. Then when you try to create s2 with equal to hello, then immediately what will happen, before creating a hello, it will check whether that hello is there inside the pool of constants, whether that string is already created by someone or not. If it is already created, same address will be given to s2. Okay, you getting my point? If you try to create same string object, using double quotes, then string pool of, it will look, Java will look into string pool of constants whether that hello has been created or not. If it is created, it will be same address will be given to the new string variable that you are trying to access. Okay, so let's do some programs. Okay, quickly run couple of programs we'll do. So we can create string objects in two ways. Okay, one is with new operator and another one is without new operator. So when you create a string object with new operator, every time memory will be allocated. If you try to create a string object with a new operator, not in this way, another way, use equal to new operator, right? When you try to create with a string object with a new operator, every time memory will be allocated. New hello will be created. When you create a string object without new operator, what will happen? JVM uses string constant pooling mechanism. Okay, that is nothing but when string constants are available in the pool, when particular in this case hello, the same constant address will be assigned to the reference variable. It won't create another new string object. Okay, and another one is when string constants not available in the pool, JVM creates a new string object and same string constant will be placed into the pool. Okay, make sense? Okay, so there is another concept in strings is comparison. Let's say okay, string s1 equal to new string. Let's see, string s1 equal to orange. Okay, before this, right, let me show you how to int a equal to 10, int, I don't need to add, okay. Okay, so can we say a and b are same? So how do we compare? If a assignment operator double equals to b, let's say if a and b are same, then you can display SOUT a and b are same, else a and b are different, right? So if I run this program, what will be displayed? Which part will be displayed? Whether this part will be displayed or this part will be displayed? It will be displayed a and b are same, right? Let's run the program and see what will happen. A and b are same. What if I try to compare with C? What if I compared with C? A and C are different. So it enters into else block because A is having value 10, C is having value 20. So let's go back to our string concept. String S1 equal to orange, string S2 equal to orange. Okay, let's see. So if I compare these S1 and S2, okay, if S1 assigned to S2, both are same. Else both are not same. Let me run this program. Okay. What is the output that we are expecting here? Generally, both are same should be output, right? As per our typical equals, assignment operator comparison, you should get both are same, right? Let's see. You got it as both are same. But let's try another one. Another way of creating what? Another way of creating string is using new keyword. What if I compare with S1 and S3? Still both are same, right? Let's compare. We got the output as both are not same. Why is that? We should get both are same, right? S1 and S3 are same. Both are holding same value. Why? Because the concept that we discussed just now. Only if you try to create an object with double quotes, it will go inside the pool. And first thing, when you try to create S1, an orange object has been created and address starts with 101, let's say. And when you assign it to S1, what will happen? S1 is going to hold what? 101 address. Okay. Next time what you try to do, orange double quotes. So what will happen when you try to create double quotes? First it looks whether it's there inside the pool. It is already there. So same address will be given to S2 as well. So S2 also going to hold 101. So now when we compare S1 double equal to S2, what is comparing? We are comparing two reference variables, S1 and S2, which is value is 101, 101. So both addresses are same. That is the reason the first time we got equals, both are same. You are not actually comparing the object. Double equals to is not comparing the object. It is comparing the reference variable value. As both are holding the same address inside their reference variables, that is the reason why equals assignment operator, you got it as same. But when you try to create S3 with the new keyword, what will happen? Each time when you use new keyword, new orange will be created outside the pool. Another orange will be created here. Another object of orange will be created. And this address is 123. So this address will be given to S3. Now when we compare S1 and S2, what will happen? The address reference variables are different. Even though the object value is same, the address reference variables are different. So that is the reason you got S1 equal to S3 is not same. Okay. So how do you want to, so what you want to compare the object value? Let's say double equals to will be used for comparing the reference variables. You want to compare the object value. How can you compare? Using the equals keyword. Equals, that is nothing but if S1 dot equals of S3, SYSOUT, both are same. Else both are not same. Dot equals. Dot equals. Now run the program. So for double equals, both are not same because double equals used for comparing reference variables and dot equals used to compare the actual value inside the string. You got my point? Do you guys understand? Double equals used for comparing reference variables of the object. When you are comparing an object, when you are comparing primitive variables like int, double, all these things, actual value will be compared. There is no reference concept, right? But dot equals used for comparing both are same or not. So that is the main important difference. Okay, remember that. So if s1 double equals to s2 will be true, you will get it as, because both are pointing to the same object, same reference variable, because they are inside the string pool. But when you use new keyword, it will be created outside the pool. Okay, that is the important point, concept that you need to remember. When you go for face-to-face interview, this is one question they will ask all the time. What is the difference, like, why both are same, and what is the difference between double equals to and dot equals to, and why s1 double equals to s3 is returning not same, and but s1 dot equals to returns same. Then you need to say double equals to operator used for comparing a reference variable, dot equals compared to the object value. Okay. There is another concept called string buffer. String buffers are mutable. So strings are immutable. String buffers are string objects are mutable, and string reference variables are mutable. String buffer objects are mutable. String buffer object is another way of creating an object, another concept, like another built-in class that has been there. String buffer is be equal to new string buffer. Okay, so or else you can do this one as well, right? So first you need to create only strings are created with the new keyword. Sorry, string buffer. Only strings are created with double quotes. Strings only can be created in two ways. One is with double quotes, another one is with new keyword. But string buffer is new to be created with a new keyword. Okay, and then you can start adding. There is a concept called, there is different methods that has been built in class, right? Each class will have built-in class will have different methods. So if I go to inside this class, right, string buffer class, this is built-in class that has been there. Which package? See which package it is. java.lang.package. Where is this java.lang package is there? Inside rt.jar. Where is this rt.jar? It is inside C program files java jdk 1.8.0.102/jre/lib. Inside /lib there is a package called, there is a jar file called rt.jar. Inside rt.jar there are bunch of packages, these are all the built-in classes provided by Java. Okay, based on your requirement you need to use. So one of the thing is we are using is string buffer class. What are string buffer? It is inside the package called java.lang. So this is the final class. What does it mean when a particular class is final? What does it mean? You cannot extend that final class. Okay. So inside they have, see, there is a default constructor, constructor. See, this is the method, string buffer method. This is the another method. Ensure capacity. Trim to size, string set length, caret, code point before, code point cut. Okay, get chars, set caret at. So these are all different methods that string buffer is providing. So you need to, how do you know what and all the methods that has been there? All you need to do is create a string buffer reference variable sb dot append. So if you go to append, it will show. See, now append, so it will give what functionality it will do. Okay, if you add a string, our case is I want to add another string into this buffer, right? So this is the it will explain what exactly it does quickly. If you look at it, what this method will do. So on going forward and day to day, you need to learn this kind of approach, like, okay, how can I use this method? What is the use of this method? Let's say now I kept it as orange. Okay, and you can append as much as you want. Append like some space sb dot append apple. So now when I try to display, right, sys out sb dot, if I try to display sb, this sb, see what the results will come. Orange space apple. So orange space apple. So you can keep on adding whatever the values that you want. And if you want to know the size of this string buffer, right, sb dot length 12. So see what is the size, correct? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, right? Same case for strings as well. Strings has a bunch of methods. So let's say s1 dot let me say sys out, directly can display s1 dot caret 1. What I am asking, in the string s1, what is the character that has been there at index 1? What is the character that has been there at index 1? It's O or R? It is R, because index starts with 0. So let's see whether it will display R or not. See, you got displayed R. So these are all the different methods. So let's see, if you want to know s1 dot length. What is the length of orange? 6. So there are bunch of methods, bunch of functionalities that has been available. I'm going to send another assignment to you guys today. So practice, go back and talk, read about strings and string buffer, and one more concept called string builder. SBD equal to new string builder. So there is another class called string builder. This is also inside java.lang package. One is synchronized, another one is not synchronized. We haven't discussed about, apart from that, there is no much difference between these two. and string builder is much faster than string buffer. And string is immutable, right? So which means you can't modify. So if you start using strings for modifiable object, modifiable variable, modifiable object, if you start using strings, then it will keep on creating. But if you use string buffer, it is synchronized, I'll tell you. But for time being, string buffer are slow. These are synchronized. Whenever there is a concept called synchronized, they will be slow but thread safe. We haven't discussed these two topics, so I'm not going deeply. So string buffer, what is the difference between string builder and string buffers? String buffers are synchronized and they are slow but thread safe. How about string builder? Not synchronized, faster but not thread safe. Okay, makes sense. So I'll send an assignment. So go back and look around strings concepts, try to understand as much as you guys can. We'll see. Tomorrow I'll take one more class. Day after tomorrow I may or may not take a class. At least let me aim by end of next week, mid of next week, let's wrap core Java and then we can jump on to advanced. Okay, another 10 classes or another 8 classes, something like that it will take. Okay. Thank you. I'll send another assignment. Go back and look around that. Okay. Thanks, guys.